So hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk to you about the Stettin underground routes. So on my last semester break, I went on a day trip to Stettin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure. I don't speak Polish. That's why from now on I'm gonna pronounce it as Stettin. Stettin is the German pronunciation. Stettin used to be a German city before the World War II, and after the World War II, the city was transferred to the government of Poland, and that's why they changed it to its Polish name, which is pronounced a little bit differently. As a disclaimer, I don't pretend to be a historian. I am not at all equipped for that. I don't study history either. So if I have made any mistakes, I apologize in advance, as I am only gonna recap what I was told during the tour of the Stettin underground routes and my own take and experience about it. So when I looked for things to see and do in Stettin, I found a very interesting site for Stettin underground routes. It is located under the Stettin main railway station. Um, and as it turns out, Stettin has the largest underground bunker in all of Poland, which I found very cool. So that's why I decided to go on a tour of exploring the underground routes for an hour. They offer this tour daily. I think it begins every day at 12 o'clock at noon. And on Saturdays, they have another tour at 1:30, but they take on a different route. So there are two routes. The daily routes are for the World War II, and the Saturday only special is for the Cold War route, because the bunker was used for both wars. So I was immediately interested to go because I've never seen anything like it. I've never been to anywhere that is a direct historical site that is still kept to its original state, I would say. I don't have anything like that in my country. I came from Indonesia, so my country did gain its independence almost directly as a result of the end of World War II, but we don't really have anything like that back home. So one of the thing that interests me in studying here in Germany is its different histories and cultures. So I was really excited to finally see something like this, although it's not in Germany. Poland is very near on the German border. It's located in the west side of Poland, and I think it's like 30 minutes or so from the border of Germany and Poland. So the site itself was remarkably well maintained for its age, and it was kept to its original. Some changes were made, of course, to the underground routes to make it safer for tourists. So for example, in the days of the war, the bunker was painted with phosphoric paint. Phosphoric paint is obviously toxic, now we know that. So instead they changed it with fluorescent paint, which is not toxic. They also installed mannequins, posters, and cardboard cutouts so that tourists can get a feel of what it was like in the days of the bunker's use. What I experienced was very educational, and it offers me a very good insight of something that I never really understood because I was born after war. I know that it affected people all over the world very deeply, but I don't really have the imagination, I would say, to really see what it was like. When I stepped into the bunker, it was very easy now to imagine what it was like, and it became almost real to me. Although obviously we're not at war anymore, the bunker is just for tourists, they don't use it anymore either. But it was not hard to imagine how it must have been like for the people of Stettin in particular to go to these bunkers, because they were air bombed and they must have been panicked. They would almost have nothing on them aside from what they have on their body and an extra suitcase that is called the emergency suitcase. So that was very, very moving in a way. I can only imagine how awful it must be for the people back then to be hiding in an underground bunker for hours on end without knowing what's going on outside in the world, not knowing the fate of their families, and it wasn't even like as if it was easy for them to get in the bunker in the first place because only Germans was allowed to get in. So the Polish, the other immigrants, the Jews are not allowed. Even the Germans have to be checked thoroughly for papers before they can get into the bunkers. This particular bunker, as I said, was the largest and the most modern one in Stettin or in all over and all over Poland in general. Even the toilets has flushes, so you can flush the toilets like you do right now in our modern day-to-day life. But it was not common at that time. Toilets in that time in bunkers especially are just like buckets, I would say. But then again, it wasn't very comfortable because thousands of people would get into the bunker at the same time. They have to stay there and they don't really have a place to sleep in aside from the floor. And even then, sometimes it gets too crowded that all you can do is sit or even stand. By the end of the war, 60% of the city was totally demolished. Most of the casualties was in the area where the industry stood because Stettin was one of Germany's industrial city that is very important at the time. And also by the end of the war, over 8 million people had to be relocated between Poland and Germany because, as I said, Stettin was a German city. So after the war, the borders between countries are not clear. The German border that we know today is not what the German border was like before, during the World War. So those people have to be deported, forced to leave behind everything they know, and having next to no knowledge of where they're gonna go or what life is gonna be like after they relocate. So it was very moving to see those figures and realize how traumatic it must have been for those people in particular. We weren't really allowed to film or photograph very much in the tunnel and in the bunker, so I don't really have that much footage, but what I have I will show right now. I would definitely recommend any of you to visit the site if you have ever find yourself in Stettin, or to visit any other sites in general that is similar to this one, because I think it will be very educational and it will give you an understanding of history, which I find very interesting. I will leave a link down below if you want to learn more about the tour and the routes from their own official site. I've also done a travel vlog in Stettin, and I would love for you to check it out and see what else Stettin has to offer. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye!